we have really great big things coming for partnerships, particularly on the.
Is the mobile gaming market truly ready?
Really great big things coming for partnerships, particularly on the.
Is the mobile gaming market truly ready for crypto? Like, what does MixMob look like for the next 3 to 6 months? You're building a game. How do you now start looking at the PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Epic?
The dates that I'm giving you right now is what's cooking today. So today, actually, you can go and play, and you can actually compete for. There's a prize pool today.
All right. GM. We are back with the spice, and we need the spice, and we're gonna bring on Simon from MixMob with the real spice. But before we get started, man, how are you? What's going on, man? I know you've been going through some craziness the past couple of days, and I know the socials have been a little crazy the past couple of days as well. So how you doing, man?
My friend, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for having us. Always a pleasure. Always. So, yeah, no, everything good. Lots of things going on, especially in the gaming, crypto gaming space, as you know, with our own game. Lots of things to update you on. But overall, everything really good, man. What about you?
Catch me up. Man, it's been fun to watch socials. Yesterday, Solana announced the Graveyard Hackathon, and it had gaming on there. And I first didn't know that we were dead. So that was a surprise. And so now I know that we're trying to come out, as they said, the dead don't die or something. And I'm like, man, I didn't even know it was dead. Let me know it was dead first. But, it is, at the end of the day, gaming is in a tough situation. Gaming and Web3 gaming is in a tough situation. And I think that we have seen a lot of misused funds, a lot of promises that never got delivered, a lot of nowhere near or whatever half-ass games that were being shown. And man, so many things, right? But then there are the games that are here, that have been here, that have been truly building, like you guys, right? Past 3-4 years building MixMob, and to put in, being on the Apple Store, everything that you guys have done, working with major brands, like those are the things that I really do get exciting. But I'll turn it to you and ask you, like, is this kind of like a wake-up call? Is this like what do you like take this as, from an investor, from a game developer, from somebody in the space? What do you think is kind of like the issues, the underlying issues with all this stuff? How did we get to being dead in the graveyard?
Honestly, man, I think it needed to happen. I think the hype took off for gaming with Axie Infinity. And there's so much capital poured into like anyone. Do you know what I mean? And I think you and I were talking about this at Solana conference here in the UAE. And what happened is gaming is the hardest digital product to build. There's no comparison when it comes to digital products. You're thinking about 3D, you're thinking about sound, you're thinking about animation, you're thinking about UX, UI, game design, economies, like the whole complex system of digital is compact into gaming. Anything else like prediction markets, all these things are like relatively easy to build. But when you think about gaming, it's the toughest. So you need really specialized teams to build these great games, and patience, because building a really good game takes, a micro game like ours in traditional gaming takes probably like 2 years to build properly. Add that crypto experimentation times 2, right? So I think it was needed because so many teams were funded with no idea, bad actors, etc. So I think this is a good purge. I think, let me tell you this story. So we're in the process of moving our app from our app store in Canada to where I'm at right now, right? And the reason I'm telling you this is I'm reviewing the history backlog. And like you said, we've been developing in the space for 4 years now. Our game now, we launched the first alpha in 2022, like June 2022, something like that, right? And check this out. We were probably one of the first crypto games that were approved in the App Store. Jorge, can you believe, like 2 years ago, you couldn't have crypto games it was not allowed. And I look at the history, we were rejected 15 times in the App Store. We were KYC, like I had to meet with like the whole App Store team for our crypto game to be in the App Store, and we were rejected 15 times. So think about that. Like there's two challenges, and I'll pass it back to you. Number one is the bad actors, right? Now, actually, I'm gonna say three challenges. Number one, bad actors and all the shit that went in the space. Number two is the impatience of the space. Like to build a good game takes time, and like the crypto industry is quite impatient, and rightly so. It is what it is. And the third thing is when we were developing MixMob Racer 1, Solana, I think Solana's still in beta, but the documentation was just like, all the plugins and everything was just really like rough. So you're developing a new game in new technology that is rough. Everything is just, so it takes more time. But now the ones that are here, like you said, are the ones that are going to be for a long time.
So when you signed up for this, did you know that you were signing up for the game Survivor?
Man, honestly, I'm going to be very honest with you. I knew it was going to be tough, but I never thought it was going to be this tough. Like crazy. This is if you consider we're now in a bear market, this is our second crazy bear market. Like the previous bear market that we survived when Solana went to 8, that was insane, man. I have some crazy stories, but anyways, yeah, this is crazy.
What do you think's been? I have to ask you because you've been through 2 bear markets, like as a founder, building in this. What do you think has been the toughest part of all of this? And what's one thing that you learned last bear market that you're taking into this bear market to make sure you don't do that again?
Yeah, so I've been in crypto since 2016. So this is just now the roller coaster pattern. I understand it, but like you said, like deep down in the trenches, building in gaming, this is my second one. So what I took from last bear market is this is the time, and I know it's been said quite a lot, but like in the bear market is where you build your strongest. Like, didn't we meet in the bear market? No.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You and I, like the best relationships and the strongest relationships are built in the bear market because you truly can see who's here for the real impact of the technology and who's not, right? So guess what I'm doing right now? I'm talking to everybody. I'm networking. I'm, like really cementing the foundation for the next cycle.
Yeah, man, it's truly the best time to build. I think that's why we are seeing so many times of people saying it's the best time to build, and it's building right now and building on Solana. Blockchain itself, I think it's definitely also in a part where it needs to either grow, mature, as we are seeing worldwide. As you mentioned, it's funny you mentioned the Apple Store and being rejected 15 times, and that happened over the past couple of years. And we could also say in America, the political landscape changed dramatically in the past year and a half, that crypto is now all of a sudden at the forefront. Yes. We're building crypto here in America, all these things. And it does help take into play. It does help kind of speed it gives us some notoriety to be able to have conversations with bigger people, bigger players, institutions as well. With all that said, you're building a game. How do you now start looking at the PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Epic, the big players that have been, when you're on Epic Games, like you have to get that stamp that says this is an NFT blockchain game. Be careful, like these things that already like we're already having a tough time building games. Now we're even tougher. Like we got this like stamp on us that like, be careful, guys. What do you think the next conversation, what do you think the next thing is for Web3 gaming as we start looking at having bigger conversations with bigger players?
Yeah, I think so. here's my quick story, right? When we launch in the app stores, right? You have to put a description of what your game is or what type of game is it. Epic does this is like epic 4v4 battles, things like that, right? I went all in on crypto. I'm like, screw everything. We got accepted in the app store as a crypto game because I went all in, right? And the description of our game was first car battle crypto game, right? I had the word crypto in it. I have screenshots, we can talk about this another time. But what I realized as time went on is I had friends from the industry being like, dude, like you're doing a disservice to your game right now with everything that's going on, and so I think what I'm realizing as things are moving on from that time is that crypto is in blockchain, it's a beautiful technology. I have zero doubt, Jorge, like when I tell you zero doubt, that most games in the near future are going to have a blockchain component, a crypto component. I have zero doubt. Okay. Like I remember being at FIFA, one of the biggest challenges at FIFA when I was there was that people were selling their accounts. Okay. So imagine this. You had your account, you grind it, you had your coins, you had your levels, etc. Why can you not freaking sell that account? But it was a big deal. Like, there's legalities, there's all these things. It was a big deal. Now with crypto, you can do it so easily. Like even in our game, you can see the NFT, it tracks your progress, etc. So long story short, what I'm saying is I have zero doubt the tech is going to touch games. It's going to have to be in the background until we clean our names and the reputation that the crypto space has. But like I said, I have zero doubt it will happen. We just got to clean up our reputation with good games, good quality. And that's what we're doing.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that we're still trying to put this like square peg in a round hole idea of is the mobile gaming market truly ready for crypto? Are we ready for that? Or like you're saying, it's got to be all in the back end. Like, do you think it's gonna be ready for it in the next year, 2 years? Like what do you think even needs to happen for the gaming market to really embrace crypto and blockchain technology?
This, like literally, this that's happening right now, the purge needs to happen. The good builders need to freaking step up. These conversations need to happen. You and I were talking a bit ago about like how long it takes to build a game. Like I think the general public don't even understand how long it takes to make. I'm not saying like a casual game or like an indie little game. I'm saying like a mid-core game like ours. Traditionally, it takes about 2 years to build. You're talking about 3D. You're talking about like building the universe, the mechanics. Like if you're building a mid-core game, you have to give yourself at least 2 years, 1 or 2 years, right? Then you add the exploration component of crypto and like the documentation that is still like, it's like you're building a bullet train on rails that are not even there, So you're building the bullet train and the rails at the same time. So, but now you touched on this, we have legalities now, like getting better, right? At least on the crypto, like on the app stores, the US is embracing it. There's more clarity there, which never was. So now we have that. The documentation, like, when you look at Solana's documentation, is beautiful. Now it's understandable. Solana has been up. Can I tell you something? When we launched our alpha, Solana went down for like days. And people were like, you scammers, you guys, like game is shit. It was nothing to do with us. It was the network just fucking went down, and it could have been because of us, because we had a lot of hype at that moment and people were just doing transactions and things like that. But you know what I mean? Like a combination of all of these things. So now we have legalities, we have better documentation, better rails. And then the third thing is like, now we need the good actors to come in and the good games to really stand out.
Yeah. So you've had a lot of success. Disney, you've worked with some pretty big partnerships, bringing in some always has been brought in some great names. The art is something that always stands out. The game transformation to where it is today. what are you thinking right now for MixMob? Where are you building right now on MixMob? Like, what does MixMob look like for the next 3 to 6 months? And I'll even pause there for a second and even add a caveat to this, is saying Seeker phone, 19,000, 20,000 DAU every single day right now. Some of those games right now are insanely getting that DAU just because of the Seeker ability to bring in users. And then there's also the PSG-1, the first gaming hardware on Solana as well. That's also driving a lot of DAU. As you're building all this, how do you see the next 3-6 months? How do you see where MixMob is? And are there plans to be on all these other things that are happening on Solana?
Totally, man. So shout out to the PSG guys. I just had a conversation with them literally like an hour ago. Amazing guys, great builders. That is coming for us to support the Solana ecosystem. We want to support great builders. They want to do the same. So that's that. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is we just launched our biggest update yet. And this update, the numbers we're getting from this update are insane. Like, people are spending about 50 minutes on a game session. 50 minutes, Jorge, on a mobile game. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I spend way more than that in MixMob, but sure.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. And so, like, it's amazing. And I'll tell you a bit about where that is taking us. So 50 minutes, our D1 retention has, doubled from about 20-30%. Now we're reaching like 30-45% D1. Day 7, same thing, like 10-15%, so which are great numbers. So, and when we do our user acquisition tests, like, we get like a cost per install about 40 cents, man. Like, people resonate with the IP, people resonate with what we're doing. So our next step, to answer your question, is this update. We focus everything on what we call the league. And the league is, you come to MixMob, we tell you a bit about the story, which is, what would you do if an AI deleted our culture? That's why we create these robot racing games to train these robots. And then we put you in a league. And the league is freaking amazing because you can see the path of the ranks that you can actually improve. And as you go, the ranks get harder and more fun. And then you unlock really great rewards. And the league has timers, so you understand really clearly that you're in this league. It lasts 15 days. You want to progress to get the great rewards. And this is what's giving us really good results. People are competing. They're showing their, leaderboards. So we're going to focus everything on this league in the next 3 to 6 months. Particularly, this is where crypto, for me, and this was the vision for me. I come from PokerStars, as you know, and I saw crypto as a way to solve payouts in games really easily. And that was always the vision for me. And this league materializes that, because imagine you come into the league, you see that the prize pool is, let's say, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is. And you're going to get that instantly, So with the league, we tied everything together in the 3 to 6 months. It's full on that, with now partnerships. You touch on PSG, shout out to them. That's coming. We have really great big things coming for partnerships, particularly on the league side, and not only on the Solana ecosystem, but even beyond, like in just traditional gaming as well.
So any key dates that we should really kind of be working out on knowing what's happening in MixMob and this league itself that you're talking about here? What's the structure to that as well? Maybe give us some insights to the gamer that's listening for the first time that wants to get involved in the league.
Yeah, totally. So the dates that I'm giving you right now is what's cooking today. So today, actually, you can go and play, and you can actually compete for. There's $1,000 prize pool today, which is freaking awesome. You can go there, race, compete, climb the leaderboards. The structure of the league is amazing. I'll touch on that in a little bit. But today you can do that. The second thing is you compete on the leaderboards, but you can also rank up. And as you rank up, you unlock really cool digital rewards. And so that is cooking today, which is for us fantastic. Now, what you can expect in the next little bit, it's a pretty cool update with seasonal collectibles that's coming for Valentine's Day, February, as you know. Are you doing anything for Valentine's, my friend?
Now that you mentioned it, I'm actually going to make sure I put my calendar that I should go buy flowers or something.
Come on, you gotta buy flowers for the maybe buy your better half a MixBot, Valentine's MixBot. You know.
This is why we have you on the show. You just became game developer. Now you are Cupid. You know that you're Cupid now.
That's it, man. You just gotta tell me how it goes. Once you show them the mix, your significant other, the MixBot, she might make you a lucky man.
I might win a race.
Yeah.
But man, look, I think like you guys have been around again so long, building so many cool things. The game is where it is at. You're talking a little bit about forward thinking about the next 3 to 6 months. What do you think again in the instance of MixMob here, the community that you have built around yourself? Where do you think needs to also improve? What also needs to be worked on in order for the game, for you wanting to succeed or for the next leg up? Maybe from a game developer perspective, to be where you are 4 years in, what's the next leg that you want to work on to keep making sure that Empire is growing the right way?
Yeah, totally. I'm glad you touched on that, because the one thing that brought me to crypto at a development, like from a builder perspective, is this idea of building with the community, right? And we started touching that. I started touching that philosophy early on in AA, at FIFA, then at PokerStars. But you're trapped in this old school, I call it old school kind of way of development. But with MixMob, I had full reign to go build with the community. So we've been building with them as a unit since we launched, right? And we probably have one of the best communities in the space. And shout out to everybody from the community. But by best, I mean they've supported us for this long. They give us insane feedback, and it's a mutual trust by now, right? So to answer your question, what is next? What I want to do is I want to build that community. I want to grow it. Right now we're 50,000, 55,000 members. I want to grow it at the same speed, but in a Web2, like globally, beyond crypto and beyond the incentives of crypto. I want to grow it now because this community believes in the game. This community believes in each other, in the relationships. Like, I think there's a couple of people that met there and now are a couple, and it's amazing to tell this story. The other story I can tell you, this was 2 years ago when we went to Singapore to Solana Breakpoint. A lot of members from the community flew to Singapore, and a couple of them actually flew to Singapore because they played MixMob, won a tournament. They got the money to actually go and fly there, met us. It was amazing. Another one through the tournaments was able to pay for university. Like, you see where I'm going? Like, imagine that growing into a full-on blown economy. That was always the dream.
Yeah, I think like for me, it's the payment rails that blockchain has done is incredible. But I think it goes further, like especially in gaming, because you could game with anybody worldwide, and you just don't know where that person is or where they are, right? And I look, being South American here, we know in Colombia, Ecuador, where we're from, like $5 is a lot of money, $10 is a lot of money, and you win that in these prizes. And the prize pools in crypto are always very, very big, right? 100,000, 10,000. That it is beyond life-changing in some of our countries, and Vietnam, Philippines. You look at Asia, and so when you look at what crypto could do, what gaming could do, and gaming here being able to play with anybody worldwide, man, like that, those are the things that have always excited me, because that's always been the limit or the barriers in Web2 gaming in many ways. And so it's like, wow, like what we can solve, what we set out to solve, what we are hopefully be able to solve is still there, and it's happening. It just now needs to be, 10x or 100x so that the message gets bigger and resonates more with a lot more people.
That's it, man.
Yeah, man. I think like lots of things are going to happen in 2026. We see a strong narrative right now with stable coins. We see a really strong narrative with prediction markets. We think prediction markets are truly going to disrupt the industry, and they really are already. And I think we're already seeing a lot of people. DraftKings is now using the word predict very, very heavily. I've seen a lot of the casino ones, Hard Rock Bet and all of them. They're trying to use the word predict now, trying to compete with the word predict. But Coinbase, Robinhood, they have all prediction markets as well now built in. I actually I'm getting, either they know I'm a degen or something's happening, but Coinbase is sending me notifications on, did you predict like blah, 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 this game? Did you predict that? And I'm like, how the hell do you know I'm into prediction markets? But we're seeing all this, right? In gaming, what do you think? Do we need to find ways to work with these narratives? Like, do we need to bring in prediction markets to games? Do we need to bring in stable coins into games? What is your thought? Like, how do you 10x what we're just talking all about MixMob, but how do we also 10x with the narratives within crypto that we all know metas are big in crypto?
Jorge, I think you nailed my personal entire thesis, and I'm gonna share it with you because I think you nailed it. Here's the stats that I know, okay? And the reason why I keep building in gaming, in crypto. Yes, we're right now on a bit of a funk, right, as an industry. But when you look at the big numbers, everything is going up. Like usage, there's like 2 billion mobile gamers, like 2 billion, and they keep growing, right? There is 75% of them have the most spend in everything, right? I was looking at this stat the other day that totally kind of like blew my mind off. But in-game expenditure in 2021, I think that was the cusp, 2021, was bigger. In-game expenditure in cosmetics was bigger than most GDPs, It's just insane. And it's projected to keep growing. Like in 2030, it's going to be like a $650 billion industry. So it's going to be a huge industry. People keep playing games. I don't see I don't see people not playing games. Does that make sense? So this is the time to double down in an industry. Okay, so that's the first thing that I wanted to share with you. The second thing that you touched on prediction markets. Right now, did you know that I think it's like from 8, there's more people watching, there's more gamers watching games on Twitch than actually playing the games by now. So you can see that shift happening right now, right? And then the third thing that I wanted to share with you is how this complements everything, which is AI, right? And I'll touch with this super quick. But when most of the traditional jobs are going to be taken over by AI, right? It's inevitable by now. I think we all as a society understand this is going to happen, right? And I don't mean to be like, oh, this is scary. It's not. There's going to be other ways. And I think gaming is going to be one of those ways where people that, like, let's say if they were like, just for the lack of another example, like if they were packing groceries at a store and now there's no grocery packers, well, gaming now is going to offer a place where they can actually play, build a community, compete. It's another economy that didn't exist before that I think is going to be embraced by AI. So to your point, these are all the things that I'm betting on, right? I'm putting everything on the line for these things. And to talk about prediction markets, here's what happened with us as we were developing our game. It's a competitive game. And our community was like, hey, it would be so nice to watch others and actually predict. And we built that for them. And that is evolving into a platform that is its own prediction markets. I won't go too deep into that because I think this should be all about MixMob. But MixMob is part of that. And people love it. And the numbers we've gotten from our alpha have been insane. And they complement each other. You know what I mean? So I think the studios of the future of the today need to embrace predictions, need to embrace competitive gaming. That's where everything is going.
Yeah, look, man, I think you hit it on it. I think like as AI does take over, what will open up? And I think definitely gaming has an opportunity there. Yes. I think that there's a lot of opportunities within gaming. And I think the issue is, I don't know if the word gaming is the right word as well, because I think it's entertainment, right? for me, and I see like gaming transforming more and more and more to entertainment than it has now, where things could be entertaining but are still gaming, right? And it's still gamified in a way. And I think that I think we'll see some sort of evolution within that. But I will say one thing, man. My Claude bot got all that information that you just said, so that it knows that what it needs to make sure the next 12, 40, 24 hours is to take over my job, at least to have a job in the future.
Man, isn't that insane? Like, and you know, the other thing that gaming, you know, you brought in CloudBot, like we're gonna be competing with AIs and playing with this AI. Like, we already do. Like in our game, we have our AI that you compete with it. You know what I mean? So it's just a natural progression.
Totally. Simon, I know coming around the 30-minute marker, and I want to respect your time as well. What do we need to make sure that we tell everybody that's watching, listening about MixMob? 90% of the people, what do they need to make sure that they do within the next 24, 48 hours from watching this? Make sure that they don't miss any of the alpha and they're not crying FOMO.
Totally. The first thing is go to Solana Gaming. Shout out to Jorge for being an awesome ambassador of gaming and everything that it happens in this industry. Second thing, go to mixmob.io, check our website, check what's cooking, download the game if you haven't. Check the biggest update we've had. It's incredible. We have new collectibles. We have the league. There's a $1,000 prize pool. Go compete, go climb. The way the league is structured right now is amazing because you get tickets, and those tickets make sure that, you know, you can actually catch up. There's never going to be more tickets. So you can actually go catch up. So play right now, climb up the ladder. If you don't want to compete in the league for USDC, then compete for fun, rank up, unlock the beautiful cosmetics that we have, and then, you know, have a great time and go to our community. Our community is, like I said, an incredible community. We have 55,000 people. They're the most welcoming community probably in the space. You know, I was telling you, like, people have actually met there and have gotten together, probably marriage soon. I don't know.
You're Cupid, man. I'm telling you. I have a feeling that you're like Cupid. Take off the mask. Show us who you are. Simon, man, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you taking the time. Everybody, make sure you go follow MixMob. Make sure you go play their latest mode, latest game, get the latest artifact, whatever it is, skin, get Valentine's Day going, whatever you need to do. Here's the alpha straight from Simon from MixMob. Thank you again for your time, man. I always appreciate you coming on.